What's up, guys? JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 1 in my 12th annual 31 Days of Horror, a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films in 31 days, all during the month of October. You know the deal. I've been doing this 12 years. Pretty crazy that it's been 12 years. No theme this year. I was going to do a theme. I had a couple ideas. One year I want to do like a randomized theme maybe, and then I thought maybe I'll do all slashers or something, but I'm already bad enough at getting the 31 reviews done in 31 days, so adding a theme to it just always complicates it because you have to watch a specific thing, and sometimes if I didn't specifically watch a movie for that day, I would just review something that I watched recently. So it's always easier to sort of just do whatever. But I try not to do the same film that I've already reviewed on a previous 31 days, although I will say I was looking back through the old ones and I have reviewed Blair Witch 2016 twice. And it's so weird because I reviewed it like once in like 2016 and then again a couple years later like in 2018 or 19. So it wasn't even that far apart. And yeah, that's disappointing. I have reviewed extra films, like bonus movies throughout these, so technically there's more than 31 days for each thing, for each year. 31 times 11, I guess. But anyway, I digress. For year number 12, we're just kind of doing whatever. One company that I have a lot of sealed product for is Vinegar Syndrome, so I'm sure I'll get to some of those. I always like doing those during the Halloween season. And one of their older releases that I own for a while that I've never actually opened or watched is a film from 1973. It is called Pigs. Now, this film, I would think that it is a killer pig film based on the cover. However, you would be wrong in thinking that. This movie is not that. It's an interesting movie, not really what I was expecting, but essentially it follows two primary characters. One, you have a drifter who is possibly hiding something or doesn't remember something about their past, who sort of flows through this little town where she comes across this diner where she meets this old guy who runs the diner. He also has 12 pigs in his back desert. Because I think it's set in California, yeah. She's looking for a job. He's kind of looking for dead bodies to feed to his pigs. There is a local legend around the town that his pigs only eat human flesh, and we kind of at least learn that they do eat human flesh early on in the film, but he more or less seems to get them from graves, like he's a grave robber, even though we don't really see that. We're kind of told. And the first time that these pigs ever killed anybody, it was like a homeless person that was like sleeping on the ground, which is just like terrifying to think about. But we don't see that either. There's a lot of stuff we don't see in this film. We're just told about it. So she moves in with him and becomes a waitress. He gives her a room to sleep in. Essentially, there's this other guy that's like hitting on her, takes her out, tries to like rape her. She murders that guy, and then the owner of the pigs, the diner, and the place where she's staying sees her murder this douchebag and basically takes care of the body, feeds it to the pigs. And meanwhile, there's like a sheriff who's very interested in this girl, both romantically and just interested because her story and her situation and the fact that she's hanging out with the dude who's kind of a legend for possibly feeding people to pigs. So he's sort of investigating that whole thing. That's your basic plot. This movie is kind of wild in a way. Like it's kind of tame in the fact that like we don't really see a lot, but we're told about a lot, right? Like when you find out what's going on with the girl and like her history and past, it's like kind of wonky, and then kind of also crazy. And then like there's also this legend that like there's these two neighbors who like hate this pig keeper guy / diner guy, and they are always like creeping on him and basically say like he's murdering people and feeding them to pigs. And they say that people who go in there and get fed to pigs, there is a new pig the next day when that happens. So there's almost like this supernatural aspect to the film where people are turning into the pigs, which is it adds a whole nother weird layer to it, and it actually even like strongly suggests that at the end of the film, which is really weird. This film also is known as the 13th Pig. There are a ton of other titles I was looking up on Wikipedia for this film, I think Exorcism or Love Exorcism, Daddy's Girl. There's a bunch of different titles. The director of this film I'm not too familiar with. I don't really know anybody who's involved in this film. However, the score is done by Charles Bernstein, who did the score for A Nightmare on Elm Street and Cujo, apparently, which I didn't know that, but it says on the back here. That's pretty cool. The cover of this film makes it look like really great, but it's not a great movie, but it's a nice slice of 70s exploitation. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Worth checking out. Really nothing to write home about, though. So, with that said, we'll see you guys tomorrow with another review. Peace.